Hello, everyone. This is Sharon with Entelechy Visions, and this is an energy update for the week of August 12th through August 18th. So, what do we have happening this week? We have a big energy week ahead. We actually had the planet of abundance, the giver of gifts and luck, go direct, Jupiter, on Sunday, this past Sunday. So this marks a period of a lot of forward movement in terms of the last 4 months and a reassessment of all of our abundance, even some really difficult spiritual growth lessons that we've been going through since the span of April. So when Jupiter went retrograde, we really had an opportunity over the last 4 months to look at how we are approaching abundance in our life. And so this may have shown up in our life as some misfortune in terms of our career, our finances, and even travel issues as well. So when we have some challenges in those areas or any areas, it can really teach us how to reassess and look at those areas differently for ourselves and really shift our perspective, because when we're challenged, we're moved into a different place with something. We're really forced to grow and see things from a different light, because that challenge takes us to that shift point. And even though it's not a fun thing to go through, the challenge serves that purpose to shift us into another way of looking at things or another way to approach things in our life. So look back on April and just see the last 4 months and what has really shifted for you. Related to abundance, related to your finances, your career, your travel, related to your sense of self-worth and what you feel deserving of. So a lot of that has really taken shape. And in the midst of that was the eclipse season last month. So that even paired with those themes. So it may have gone even further back to childhood issues, because the eclipse season was all about home and our roots and our past and childhood. So these themes were intertwined with all of that. So really assessing, how does our abundance play out, and how has this taken shape from what we've learned as kids, what has been set in place as patterns from our parents, from our upbringing, from our culture. So a lot of these have gone through a big overhaul. So you may feel like a really different person with a really different perspective around all of that now that this is going direct. And this is going to lighten up all of that. So now we're moving into months ahead where it will be the opposite, kind of an unexpected windfall of wealth, of fortune, of amazing breakthroughs and transformations. And yes, there are always lessons in growth, but we're going to be experiencing more of the opposite, of this expansion, of this beautiful blossoming in our life, because we have really done so much to shift all of these things, to really get to the root of a lot. And we've kind of been in this pause, even though a lot has happened over the course of many, many months, and a lot of growth, a lot of purging and healing. We've also been in this pause with all of these retrogrades. And this season, this month, is marking this movement more into that momentum, more into that expansion, And you'll see that August will have more of that as it continues to build. And as we move further into this month, that expansion is going to be even greater. And it will be even fuller as we move into September. So this is just the start of this expansion. So this particular week ahead of us, we are going to have a little bit of extra fire in our step, kind of a greater confidence. And that's paired with a full moon that we're having on the 15th. So it's going to enliven us, give us a burst of energy, allowing us to feel like our joy is returning, our levity, feeling more like ourself, but also craving that sense of independence. So there could be a push and pull between wanting to be free and independent, but then also craving some support, or kind of wanting to figure out where that balance is between having our own freedom and then also asking for the support that we need. And so discerning between the two of how much are we doing on our own, how much are we forging ahead with independently, and then how much are we actually being supported by others, or not being afraid to ask for the support that we need. Because when we go so far into being independent or pushing forward on a mission, and we're not supported by a community or the others around us, then it can feel very much like we are doing everything ourselves, or we're moving towards possible burnout because we're doing so much alone. So it's about finding that balance between where can we ask for support, where can we involve ourselves with more of a sense of connection, of community, of not being afraid to ask for the help that we need, or to connect and engage with others who can allow us to move even further into our dreams, into our mission, and into what's possible with greater help. So that's a little bit of what this particular full moon this week is going to highlight. And full moons are always about culmination points. So it's a finishing of a cycle, it's a completion. So it's really completing all of this work we have done, all the eclipse season, all of this abundance, unearthing and overhaul. And we're getting ready to move more into this momentum and into this exciting, fiery, and expansive space now. So when we have a lot of momentum, even as exciting as that can be, even as amazing as it is to welcome in more expansion, more abundance, more fortune into our lives, that still brings a lot of activity. It still brings a lot that could be going on for us. So it's important to just remember your self-care, your continued self-care through this, because as things continue to amp up, as they will continue this month and into September and into the later part of this year, just to kind of pull back and reassess, where are you at? Even if you're enjoying all of the gifts that are coming into your life, just to remember that you are the root of it all. And so if you are not taking care of you first and foremost, then it can be challenging to appreciate all the gifts or appreciate all that's coming in, because maybe you're feeling overwhelmed or you're feeling off. Even if things are amazing, there can still be a dose of overwhelm when so much can be occurring. So it's a good practice just to see where you are at daily, if not hourly. Just check in on how your thoughts are acting, what your thoughts are doing, what your bodily sensations are feeling like. If you're feeling anxious, which anxiety can be a side symptom of a lot of action, to really watch your breath also and to notice what your breath is doing and use that as your radar to really see how your state of mind, how your internal energy system is doing, will be an indication of the quality of your breath. So your breath will be like the like the signal that you can see into all of those other systems and areas and check to see how they are operating. And your breath is that kind of governor of all of that. So if it's erratic, if it's feeling like you're breathing a lot from your chest and not so much from your abdomen, because when we're overwhelmed or anxious, we tend to take very short breaths and in our chest rather than pulling the breath down into our belly, which allows us to calm down more if we pull the breath down and expand our belly. So just witness, are your breaths deep or are they very short? Are they very shallow? Because the moment that we shift and we notice our breath and we shift it into longer inhales, longer exhales, then we can calm our thoughts down. We can calm our inner world. We can calm our energy state. And we're shifting our entire energetic makeup, our emotions, and our mental chatter in that moment. So that's a good tool to use as we enter these more accelerated times. So it's a wonderful week ahead. We'll have a lot of answers to questions that maybe we've been waiting to hear about, or something that's been put on hold for a while. That life is truly beginning to move now. So this is an exciting time. And I hope you have a lovely week ahead. If you need additional support, feel free to reach out to me at entelechivisions.com. You can learn more about remote sessions there by phone or in-person sessions in Arizona, and to schedule there on the site. So have a lovely week, and thank you for listening.